Hello, hello. This is Pat once again doing an Ask a Question video. I think that I may have finally figured out the audio problem. I've had quite a few people comment that my audio is just in one channel. So for those of you who have been commenting on that, please let me know if it seems like I've finally figured that out. However, today's question is, what does the Holy See have to do with Australia doing age restrictions on social media? Okay, so I'm not going to watch the whole video. The first part of this video is actually super cool. I think it's amazing that we have science and technology and people with skilled hands that can do this type of stuff. It's so amazing. But I want to point out a particular thing that's very subtle that gets mentioned.
Little Ivan was born with a severe heart condition. He was 15 months old when he received a new heart. The images you see on screen are from 1986, a historic year for Italy. It was the first time in the country that a heart transplant was performed on a child, and the fourth time in the entire world. But where did it take place? Although everyone knows it as the Pope's Hospital, it's also called the Hospital of Difficult Cases. This year, the Bambino Gesù Pediatric Hospital celebrates 40 years as an institute of research and healthcare. A date marked on a calendar of a center that has saved thousands of lives of children. The hospital, which belongs to the Holy See, has used the anniversary to inaugurate its new gene therapy laboratory, which works directly on the DNA of young patients. The event was attended by the Vatican Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, who emphasized that the mission of the Pope's Hospital is not to be paralyzed by difficulties, but to face them with hope.
It's the Pope's Hospital.
Bambini e famiglie.
There are children in...
All right, so this is what I wanted to get to. This is the Secretary. You see it right down here in this corner. The Secretary of State of the Holy See. And they mentioned the Holy See a minute ago. I'm not downplaying the fact that we have come to a position as just a society where we have the skill to do those types of things. It is so cool. Like how long it would take to do a heart transplant and yet still have that person be alive and not have any mental deficiencies. That's just so cool. You have to be fast and be precise at the same time. That's so amazing. So my thought when watching this was to ask the question, what is the Holy See? So right here, I just asked, what does the Holy See mean? It says the Holy See is the central government of the Roman Catholic Church, headed by the Pope, and represents its universal authority in both religious and diplomatical matters. Both religious and diplomatic matters. So who's over those things? The Pope. Now, why do I find that interesting? Well, I live in the United States. I live in America. And right now, we are going through a very epic surge of what it means in regard to the separation of church and state. The vice president just gave a speech at Charlie Kirk's memorial, which was not necessarily recently, but fairly recent. And he discussed what it means in regard to the separation of church and state, and that they don't necessarily need to be separate. And there's been several more progressive Christian nationalists who've come out and talked about the idea that they do not want separation of church and state. And here, what does Holy See mean? It means that there is no separation of church and state, and the head of both of those things is the Pope. I just thought that was cool to point out. And that you can have one person over two governing bodies. Could it be possible that in the future those things occur where I'm living?
But the Australian government has implemented things like an e-safety commissioner. They've done a lot of work around social media and including age bans.
So the government in Australia is doing age bans on social media.
On use. And I think that is unique in the world. So I think we have a good story to tell. I think there's opportunities for us to build with the Holy See about how these issues are addressed.
The Holy See? What?